Welcome to today's van tour. Let's do it. Back in 2023, I purchased a 2021 Ford Transit extended high roof and converted it over the course of a year with a ton of help from friends and especially my parents. Let's take a look inside. We're going to start right here. This is my 2-burner Impava Induction cooktop that I bought off of Amazon. I love it. It's amazing. It works off of my inverter, and my only complaint would be that the burners, if I'm using a really big skillet, there's not enough space between them to have a pot of water and a skillet on here. But otherwise, works great. Love it. The next space that I'm going to share with you is my fridge. I have an AC fridge, and it's kind of like your old school college or dorm style fridge, if you will. It works great. I love that the fridge and freezer are separate, and it's pretty large considering I can keep about a week's worth of groceries in here. We're going to continue on. Blaze is chilling over here in this chair, so I can't show you the swivel seat that I installed. We'll do that later. But yeah, she's right here. This is Blaze's comfy sleeping, co-piloting space. I have done nothing to the cab. The only thing I've added is this wireless phone charger, but that's it, y'all. It's pretty basic, nothing fancy. I wish that I had put a headliner shelf up here. I wonder if I could install one after the fact, if you guys have ever done that or know of somebody who does. If you can put a link down below, that would be amazing. Maybe that'll be one of the future modifications, upgrades that I do. On this wall here, it's really just for vertical storage. So I hang up all of my coats, raincoats. I've got a tote in here of Blaze's medicine. I've got a hatchet in here, my fire extinguisher, a foam roller, my backpacking backpack, trekking poles. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Over here, this is a wall just to the right of the shower that has 4 different storage cubbies or compartments. This first section has like all of Blaze's quick grab gear. So there's wraps in here and dog treats, her seat belt, nighttime like LED collar that our friend Emily gave to us. So yeah, all of her gadgets, ear wipes, stuff like that are in this bottom cubby. Then this second cubby has all of my insulated window covers. These are quick grab, put them up in the driver's side, passenger side, and then this one goes in the sliding door. This is my bookshelf. I added this bungee after, and what's funny is it's not even bungee cord. Like, it doesn't stretch. It doesn't at all. I would like to replace this at some point with actual bungee cord, but whatevs. Above that, I have more of Blaze's gear. She takes up a lot of space, y'all. She's got a fleece and a raincoat that her grandma made for her. And then I know I need to mount this lower, but right now I haven't done it. This is a CO2 monitor. So yeah, we'll put that back in there. Maybe I'll get to that eventually. Next up, we have the wet bath. I am able to remove the handle, so that's great. I recently added shampoo, conditioner, and body wash dispensers on the back wall, but the body wash already fell down. So I don't know how long those other 2 are gonna stay up there. I could like attach them with screws, but I really don't want to put any holes in the shower walls, and I also wasn't sure if I really wanted them there or not. I might take them down. But in the shower, I've got, it's a Dometic toilet paper keep dry slidey thing. Works great. I had one in my Airstream base camp, so that's where I got the idea from, and I love it. And then I have a Trailino composting toilet. It's the medium size. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan. I think I would like to get an actual Nature's Head or one of the other actual composting toilets with like a crank and some ventilation. Would be nice. Moving on, we've got our wardrobe. This is so nice when it's not crammed full of other stuff, because my clothes, like t-shirts or button-down shirts, cardigans, stuff like that, I will hang in here and try to keep them as wrinkle-free as I possibly can. Right now, it is crammed full of a knitting project yarn, my robe, and like flat iron, stuff like that. So there's not a lot of space in there right now, and everything is wrinkled. The nice thing though is back at my parents' house, my home base, I have a couple shelves that also fit in there. So if I want to convert this to, let's say, a pantry, I totally could. I personally prefer it as a wardrobe, and I am going to keep it that way for the foreseeable future. Next up, we have our kitchen sink. I went with a 15 by 17 inch bar sink. I love it. It's super deep. The only thing that I would change about this is that the corners really aren't round, and so they tend to collect a lot of debris instead of just kind of rolling down into the catch. Also over here, I've got like dish soap, quick grab, toiletries, my fancy mirror that swivels. This thing's amazing. It's got like one of those 3x zooms. Can you see? I never use this side. I haven't taken this off. Let's take that off. So that comes off. But this thing's awesome. I try to keep it attached to the wall while we're driving, but if we're on like a crazy BLM road like we are now, this thing will totally swing out and be out here when I like get out of the driver's seat, but that's okay. Then we have, you know, hot, what do they call these things? Hot pot holders, that's what those are called. And then a hand towel. I've got a little salt keeper. This way it's easy to get to when I'm cooking. I don't really use a lot of black pepper, so that's actually down in the storage cubbies below. The other thing is I've got, like everyone, got a faucet where, you know, it's got a retractable sprayer nozzle, and it's got 2 settings for the sprayer, which is great when you're trying to keep the sink clean. And then I have a hand soap dispenser and a ratcheted paper towel holder. Lights are on a dim switch, on off dimmer switch, a 110 outlet, a switch for my hot water heater so that it is not running in the background if I don't want it to be. And then this little doodad, I will show you what this is for later. Below that, right down here, I've got a small trash receptacle and then a bunch of storage. There's propane and vinegar, additional soap, and a backpacking stove, pine pellets for the Trailino, trash bags, you name it. It's kind of like my junk drawer that isn't a junk drawer. I want to show you my bench seat. So I've got this big U-shaped bench seat, and there is storage throughout all of it. In here, I've got stuff like my camera bag, extra dry goods, a 110 heater, electric heater, my sleeping bag in case it gets really, really, really cold. Then I've got my Omnia oven and some resistance bands that I really need to use, but I haven't. So there's all of that. Over here, I've got Blaze's charging port for her Fi collar, and then just another USB-C cord. Underneath that is another storage cubby. This has my knitting gear, yoga blocks, some shoes, and then like all of the water hookup. The inlet from the outside is right here. So yeah, that's that. This cubby has my backpack for my computer, and then my slippers and the little holder for my tripod. Over here is the inverter. So we just added this. It's a small inverter just for the fridge. It can be on, and I don't have to have the big inverter on. You can see I have all this storage under here. I'm just trying to keep it clear so that this inverter doesn't get overheated. And then we have my dirty laundry. So that's my laundry area. Below that, I've got more packing cubes. Right now, that's like sheets. So yeah, that's my little U-shaped bench. Welcome to, I think, what is my most versatile multi-purpose area of the van. You've seen the U-shaped bench seat. Then I've got my swivel top table, my lagoon. I have 2 lagoon mounts in the van. This is the first one. It's awesome. I can sit and work here. I can sit and work here. I can sit and work here. Super versatile. I can also use this space as a couch. It's great for watching movies. So there's the couch. Usually the table and the lagoon mount will be set up over here when the swivel seat is swiveled around, but Blaze is in it, so can't do that right now. So yeah, this is one use case. And then that mattress can come down here, not with all this stuff here, but that mattress comes down here, and this could be a second bed for a young person or a short person to fit here, or somebody who's not all sprawled out. The first time we hit the road, all we had was a full-size bed. After 4 months of contorting myself around Blaze, I returned home and built this slide-out bed or sliding bed. Now I basically have a king, and it's amazing. It is awesome because you can sprawl out like a big old starfish. It's awesome. I love it. So I highly recommend a sliding bed platform. It gives you so much more space and versatility for the space. Takes about a minute or two to set up and break down. And sometimes I leave it this way, especially on weekends when I'm feeling really lazy or we're spending a lot of time outside. The other thing that I love about this space is this massive drawer. So originally when we built the van, the idea was that this massive drawer would pull out, lock in place, and I would put all the cushions on top, and this would serve as a bed extension. However, that just wasn't ideal. It didn't give us enough space. So this, you could call it a junk drawer, but I don't think it's a junk drawer. Everything in here we use. You know, there's all of my like work stuff and more work stuff, yoga stuff, notebooks, van stuff, cords and bits and bobs, cards, puzzles, things like that. So yeah, this is awesome for storage. Because if it weren't here, I don't know where any of this stuff would go. I really don't. Above the sink, I have this upper cabinet that has my plates and bowls, mixing bowls, little storage, reusable zipper pouches, and measuring cup, a steel pint, plastic storage containers. I've got my nesting pots and pans with a removable handle and then a collapsible strainer in this cabinet. The next one over, so we're over top of the U-shaped bench. This, I would say, is the majority of my pantry. I've got more dried goods here, stuff like that. In here is like my immersion blender, some other dry goods, Baker's Joy for when I use my Omnia oven. I've got coffee that's super quick grab, protein powder, and Pam, and then, more dry goods, a jewelry box with that mostly has crystals in it. Then here I've got like extra clothing storage sandwiched in there, and some coffee filters if I use my portable pour over coffee maker thing. So yeah, that's this upper cabinet. And then the upper cabinet over the bed, this is where the bulk of my clothes are right now. Oh, I need to recharge that, I guess. So I've got like activewear here. This is nightgowns and t-shirts. Then I've got more nightgown, activewear. Usually sweatshirts go here. And then this is all like pants and jeans and things. So yeah, I do like these cubbies. I do not care for packing cubes because if I have to unzip 10 million things to find what I want, even if they're labeled, I will not do it. So these little rope baskets work great. I do not have any wall storage on the passenger side. I did that because I wanted it to feel really super open. Also, I will often sit in the bed when it's made. Over here, Blaze and I will snuggle, and I like to have this flat area so that I can prop up against this wall, and it works great for us. We do it every morning. The other thing to note back here is I've got this 12-volt Sirocco 2 fan. This thing's awesome. It's a great noise maker. I love the fact that you can swivel it, and this guy goes up and it goes down. I'll put a link to that down in the description. It's amazing. Then I've got some blackout curtains and a camera up here, and those are the back doors with some insulated window covers in there that basically they stay on there the whole time. So yeah, that's that. I have this awning window. I love it. This keeps the rain out. You still get fresh air. There are 3 of these reading lights. These are great. There's one here. There's one in that corner, and then one in that corner that you can't see, but it's back there, I promise. These are awesome. I love them because I can direct where they go. Oftentimes not this one, but oftentimes I'll point them towards the ceiling just to have some additional light. This is my control panel. Let's start from the top. I've got the internal antenna for the Wii Boost that's on the roof. I've got a remote for the air conditioning unit. I've got a remote for the Max Air fan. This is my sea level tank monitor. This is a switch for the water pump. This is to show me the battery, but I can also do that on my phone, which this shows me how much water I have. And then this shows me how much is in my gray tank, not my black tank, but my gray tank. This is the control panel for my diesel heater. The heater itself is below this cabinet. And I also have a Burek thermostat that is stowed away right now, but works great in the winter when it's super cold. Then I've got like a porch light and then a heating pad for the gray water when it's below freezing. And then this guy is a USB port. This has a 65 watt USB-C PD port and then a USB-A, and you can turn it off. So that's pretty cool. Then there's an outlet, and then this Govee monitor is great because I can access it from my phone, so I know what temperature it is, and you can see this is the humidity in the air. There is not much. Then down here is a stack of drawers. So in here I've got all of my knives and silverware is underneath this, my mocha pot that I just got, all of my utensils, like cooking utensils, and then I have an entire spice rack right here, and if you need a fuse, I've got one that I need to install. The next drawer down is toiletries. It looks like a lot, but it's got, you know, contacts, lotions, Kleenex, makeup, hair ties, vitamins, Q-tips, cotton pads, sage, bug spray, sunscreen, lavender lotion, essential oils, deodorant, more sunscreen, all kinds of things. And then this bottom drawer is where I keep bras, underwear, some washcloths, dishcloths, hiking socks and regular socks, things that I want to wear again, and then extra towels. And it looks like my hair dryer is there. And down here is where the heat comes out from the diesel heater. And the nice thing is I can point this wherever I need it to be. Moving on, we're coming back over towards the induction cooktop. Above the sliding door, I wanted to add some storage, so I actually crocheted these little cubbies. They're a little stretched out now, but I love them. They're mounted on top of a dowel rod that I stained, and then I just used some leather straps, kind of like I did elsewhere, to hang it up and attach it to the wall. These are great. I kept all my cold winter weather gear in here. I've got like an additional headlamp, and then some blaze stuff goes here. And then the other thing is some hooks for my hat and the keys to the van and a cat. Meow. Blaze move so I can give you a tour of her co-pilot seat. I store her food and an extra, I think that's a 2-gallon water bottle, water tank, bluey thing. And then there's some shoes up there. Then there's a little red lever, like that. And drop the microphone and turn it around. So here's our swivel seat. I'm in love with this thing. Also, hold on. One more thing. I have a second Lagoon table mount right here. I think this is the B pillar of the van. I can just tighten that down. And then my tabletop comes right here. And I have a beautiful view of the mountains right now, so that is pretty sweet. But yeah, this is our swivel seat. I'll usually move the food and the water jug back behind here and put her cushion back there. The nice thing is that it swivels out, so she can still sit in here if she wants, and sometimes we'll sit in here together. That is everything for the interior of the van. Let's go check out the exterior. Welcome to the exterior. So I did not do any major upgrades except for the tires. I bought some Michelin Agilis tires and installed those right before we left last summer. Down the driver's side, I've got a outlet for the gray tank that is undermounted. And then further down the side of the van, there's my freshwater inlet and also my shore power outlet. I recommend doing black, not white, because they change color. And this up. Moving around to the back of the van, let's take a look at the garage. My mom made these little storage cubbies out of a shoe organizer. It's great. I've got things like my backpacking water filter, hammock, charging for my drill, gloves for when I dump my gray tank, and things for camping, extra gloves, safety stuff when I'm out in the wilderness. And then over here, I've got more tools. So I've got my drill, little screwdriver, fuses, drill bits, studs for walking on snowy conditions and ice, and then some bungee cords, bike gloves, shoes, that kind of stuff. Over here is the very full garage right now. There's a light switch right here. This is the tank for the diesel heater. Then I've got my fuse box for the 12-volt components. This is the AC distribution center. That's my Victron Energy Multiplus 3000 watt inverter, the Lynx distributor, the shutoff valve or master switch, the smart shunt, the DC to DC charger, which I've already had to replace once. It's a 60 amp. Eventually, I would like to go with the 50 amp that came out in the past year or so from Victron, just so that I have all Victron components. Then my hot water heater is right over there, and I've got batteries right here. They are eco-worthy 280 amp hours of batteries, and I have two of them, so I've got 560 amp hours of battery power. But there's a ton of stuff in here. I've got my stand-up paddle board, my fresh water filter, tools, some leveling blocks, my pump for my stand-up paddle board. I've got all of my charging cables, extension cords, and then a tote with a bunch of extra gear, a propane camp stove. I've got my gray water dump hose and then my fresh water hose. Over here is my trusty yoga mat that my friend Jen gave me. Then I've got a bike helmet, and my Starlink getup is all right there. So that's my garage. Moving down this side of the van, look at that lazy dog. I've got the awning window that you guys saw from the inside. This exterior light or porch light that you saw the switch for. Down here, I've got a shoe cubby. This thing's awesome when you're coming and going out of the van. Up top, I've got a light switch. So when you turn on the lights overhead, those come on. Got a bottle opener, and then a 110 outlet and a 12-volt cigarette lighter outlet. There's the muffler for the diesel heater. And this is what I wanted to show you. Dink. This is my sliding solar panel that my dad and I installed this past winter. It's amazing. It extends out from underneath a fixed platform where I've got 500 watts of solar, fixed on the roof. There's one panel here, one panel here. They're each 250 watts. And then that sliding solar panel slides out from underneath this one. The roof rack is a Unaka roof rack. And then I've got a Volit 12 volt air conditioner, which you saw from the inside. The exhaust fan is up there, you can't see it. And then also the Starlink is right here. So yeah, that's the exterior of the van. This concludes the tour. I put a link to everything that was purchased down in the description, so if something piqued your interest, feel free to check that out. If you want to follow along for our wild adventures full of hiking and who knows what we'll get into, please subscribe to this channel and also follow us on Instagram at Michelle and Blaze. We'll see you guys out there.